Oh, hello, friends. How are you? Look, we've got the new avatar. We've got some more emotes coming for it, but for now, this is what we got. Let me get web captioner real quick, because I forgot. All right, well, let's skip web captioner for tonight since it's mostly going to be reading. Anyway, hi, everyone. So where did we leave off with Blake? We were... What were we doing? Oh yeah, we had just gotten confronted by a thug who was telling us something about a brother that we don't know we have. So, hey Indie Hive, good to see you. Let's continue on with the story. We've got about half of the game left, and let's dive in. All right, so we... Oh no, did it not... Oh my god, did it not save? It didn't say... Oh my god. Is there not a way? Oh no. Yeah, it didn't save. Oh no. Well. Yeah, this is the beginning. Shoot. I say it was, hey, resume playing. Wait. Load. Oh, thank God. Okay. Whew. That's a thing. I also still don't know what this up in the corner is that's going on. Like, that's weird to me. Whew. That scared the crud out of me. Okay. Way better. I'm not sure how to toggle the FPS stuff off in the corner. That's weird to me. All right, Blake's phone started ringing and no number showed. Due to the most recent events, he worked up the courage to answer. Hello? Hello, you may be ineligible to claim for a recent accident. Blake suspected from the robotic intonations of the voice it was a primitive call center droid. Who programmed you? I was created by MBI's Sherlock program. I will now assist you with your claim. Please, can I take your full name? It's pronounced eligible, not ineligible. Thank you, eligible. Your claim reference number is... Blake hung up and shook his head angrily. As much as he preferred droids to act more like humans than robotic, the programmers could at least get such a small grammatical detail correct. He shuddered at the thought of how many times a day the electronic voice would say that line. Hey, Dad. Blake, there you are. Is everything okay? What happened? Is there anything you want to tell me? Jonathan looked confused and worried, but didn't offer any dialogue. A minor detail you forgot to mention when you told me you're my dad? Jonathan still looked mystified and shook his head, shrugging slightly. I don't know what you're asking me, son. You look like you could with the drink. Jonathan moved over to the drinks cabinet and poured 2 glasses of neat whiskey, handing one over to Blake. The calmness that exuded from Jonathan's state started to ease Blake out of his tense state. How about that I have a brother? You don't have a brother. Why would you think that? I found Trout and confronted him. He told me that my brother killed Sam Stevens. Blake took a sip of the whiskey. The liquor was bitter and made him shake his head involuntarily. He seemed pretty certain of it, and I know I don't have a brother. My adoptive family. So what was he talking about? I don't know. Could he have confused you with someone else? Did he ask your name or identify you in any way? So you swear I don't have any siblings? I swear. Blake sighed, partly out of relief and partly out of feeling like he was back to square one. Then at least tell me about Mom. What happened to her? Where is she? Jonathan appeared a little uncomfortable. There was a sea of emotion behind his eyes. I don't think so. Maybe another time, Blake. I can see you're hurt. Please tell me. I need to know about my family. Jonathan downed the remaining whiskey in his glass. Okay. Jonathan shuffled his weight, as if to balance his thoughts. Your mother and I went through a rough patch when you were 6 years old. His eyes flicked up with intensity and fixed onto Blake. I suffered from persistent migraines. I was working hard on computers for lengthy periods, striving to build my own company, to begin my legacy. I became a cantankerous bastard, I know that. And your mother, she was lovely and had the patience of a saint. I worked so hard that it felt like someone was slowly sticking pins in my back, and each time it made me flinch. I felt like I was a fucking hedgehog. At this point, Jonathan got up, took the whiskey bottle, and topped off their glasses. Blake could tell from Jonathan's language that the alcohol had started to take effect, and he warmed to the fire it had ignited in the old man's fatigued eyes. One night, your mother, Rachel, attended a friend's dinner party, so I stayed home to look after you. It was a difficult night. You were young and restless, just as children are at that age. Blake was amused by Jonathan's use of the archaic words. Hardly anyone said children or mother. Blake was intrigued to hear more about Rachel. I finally got you to settle down, and I watched you fall asleep. The morning after, I remember very clearly, you toddled into your room complaining about a painful eye. I was still mid-slumber. Your mother started questioning me in a shrill voice, interrogating me about what happened last night. We had a camera set up in the hallway outside your bedroom. We checked it and saw I'd put you to bed. At the time, you were fine. You never left your room. Needless to say, I didn't need coffee to wake up from my sleep. I couldn't appease her. I didn't have the answer she so desperately needed. You were a hyper whippersnapper. I assumed you must have woken up in the middle of the night and knocked into something. She thought the worst, and what else could she think? Rachel feared I'd raised a hand to you when I put you to bed, but I would never, ever harm you, so I was hurt that she would consider such an idea. Blake didn't bother to ask what a whippersnapper was. He could take a guess. Jonathan avoided the use of old terms at work whenever possible, but around Blake he could be himself. You were upset and confused, and so was I. The accusations flew back and forth, and our relationship deteriorated between myself and your mother. Over the next few days, you had unexplained bruises appear on your body and around your neck. We asked you what happened to you. We asked what happened, and you would tell us that you didn't remember. Your memory problems got worse, and the relationship between myself and your mother became irreconcilable. After a rather acrimonious exchange of words, your mother decided to go and stay with her parents in Hollywood, a good 3-hour drive away. The atmosphere had changed. Jonathan looked glum as he gathered his thoughts. A stillness disrupted the flow of conversation. Downing his drink, Blake offered to break the quiet and get Jonathan a top-up. On his return, Jonathan had had enough time to muster up the courage to continue his story. She, of course, took you with her, but you didn't arrive at her parents' house that day. Her parents contacted me, and I contacted the police. No one had heard from her. A search party was rolled out that evening. A few hours later, within the early hours of the morning, the car was found, parked on the side of a main road leading to Hollywood, with you curled up in the back, fast asleep. The car had broken down, so they think she must have gotten out to flag down help, and then, well, who knows? She was nowhere to be seen. It was a blessing that they found you. Relief doesn't begin to explain how I felt when they told me you were safe. But they never found her. The authorities advised that it was highly likely that she'd been abducted and murdered. My poor, poor Rachel. As his eyes welled up with tears, he quickly looked to the side and blinked them away. I'm so sorry that you'll never get to see her again. I love that when my dog barks, my little avatar is barking. Oh my god, I gotta work on those mic settings, huh? It was a lot for Blake to process. He felt like he had gained so much and lost it all in one go. Why don't I remember all of this clearly? Part of me thought you might recognize me when you first joined ICC, but now I can see a lot of this information is new to you. I put it down to the memory issues you were having around that time. Blake took out his phone and loaded up the family picture. They both looked at it. Those were happier times. I just wish I remembered more. I'm certain the memories will come back to you with time. Yeah, I guess. I'm sure some of your stories will jog my memory. Jonathan didn't seem ready to open up more about Rachel at this time. Blake attempted to lighten the mood. I look pretty old for a 60-year-old, don't you think? What can I say? You were pretty old for a 6-year-old, not 60-year-old. What can I say? You were a fast grower. I suppose it didn't help that I wanted to dress you in old-fashioned outfits. When your mother let me, of course. They both smiled through melancholic eyes. Blake didn't ask for any more information that night. As much as he wanted to pry every detail out of Jonathan, it would have to wait. They still had plenty to discuss. They stayed up late and caught up on the missed years. The things that they hadn't done together. Their likes and dislikes. Their travels. Finally, they mused on life's mysteries in the early hours of the morning. Time slipped away quickly. You need to get some rest. You're looking rather disheveled, and understandably so. Significant slumber will refresh your focus for tomorrow. Oh, kittens. I got kittens. Jonathan set up a spare room for Blake and insisted he sleep there for the night. The softest threads, the pillow and mattress felt like sinking into a cloud made of marshmallows, and of course, it was one of those high-end smart beds with its own built-in e-screen and console. Blake had one of the best night's sleep he had had in a long time. Morning came and Blake decided to— oh god. Hi, honey. Ah! Oh. Kittens, kittens, kittens. Not entirely there. Oh god. Oh, fuck! Hang on. The kittens just spilled my tea. I will be right back. Flip-flops. You look tiny. It's stuffle. We're good. We're good. It probably won't kill me. What we got? Please don't be an outfit change. I'm so comfy. But I'm so comfy. Hi, my name's Kat, and I know how to use words. Or no, I don't really want to start a cult. It's too much responsibility, Jarek, and I have a lot on my plate. Where are my supplies? Hello? My name is The Cat is a Lie, and I have no fucking clue what I'm doing. Welcome to the show. Hope you enjoy the ride. Just buckle in. Does it go bad? It shouldn't go bad. It's so salty. Let's not talk about the date on that jar. We're not gonna talk about it. It takes time to look like this much of a train wreck. A gynecologist. I mean, do we need a space gynecologist? Yeah, hang on. I'm coming. Okay, yeah, I forgot to turn desktop audio on that off while we clean this mess up. Sorry, the kittens are all clamoring for attention. Morning came and Blake decided to head home. On his way, he checked his phone. Hey Blake, fancy going for a drink with me tonight at SM's? He's had a busy couple of nights. I guess we'll go. Blake texted Orlo back, accepting his invite to Saucy Mama's. I like Orlo's shirt a lot. Like, that's I think my husband would look amazing in that shirt. Ah, the best table. Why's that? When you look at the building as a floor plan, this seat right here, it's almost the perfect equal distance between the bar and the plumbers. That, and with where the speakers are placed, Orlo pointed to 6 small boxes dotted around the room. The music is at an ideal level here, so we won't have to shout. He smiled and gave a cheeky eyebrow raise, then went back to his relaxed manner, sitting back, comfortable and confident. Anyway, enough about the aesthetic in here. What do you think of ICC so far? I like it. I mean, it's ICC. I'm so lucky to have got the job out of all those who applied. It felt like I won the jackpot against all odds. But now I'm not so sure it was just luck. Orlo smiled and shook his head. You're right, it wasn't luck, it was your talent. He's got a huge talent! You were the best candidate for the job, and they were right to choose you. Thank you. From where I'm sitting, it seems like you're doing a good job so far. And what about Max? She's a bit much, right? Never shuts up. He winked and chuckled, then brushed his hand over his chin. I'm kidding. I love the girl, really. I know, you two make a good team. It's nice seeing everyone get on so well. You two do chat a lot, though. It would be nice to have some peace and quiet sometime. You cheeky bastard. The remark made Blake laugh as his eyes scanned the drinks behind the bar. What would you like to drink? Orlo looked up to the side with his hand, cupping his chin. Oh my god, Rupert! Corgis, man. They bark all the time. Orlo looked up to the side with his hand cupping his chin. His eyes lit up in what seemed to be a light bulb moment. You see the cocktail maker over there? He twitched his head in the direction towards the end of the bar. The big neon thing with the large sign that reads cocktail maker? He could see by Orlo's expression that he was enjoying the witty riposés? I don't know. English is hard. Oof. If you make a cocktail, I'll read your fortune based on your choices. That sounds fun. Interesting. It's a deal. Ooh, let's make a cocktail. Okay, let's see here. Let's see glass 1, 2, or 3. We're going. Stop. Rupert. Sorry, the dog is arguing with me and he's being pretty saucy about it, so. Okay, here we go. Let's see here. We're gonna do, ooh, I like blackberry. Blackberry peach? With a straw. Sure. Type the name of your cocktail here and press enter. I don't know. Don't make me, you're making me think on my toes. Call it blackberry Hi. I don't know. That works. I'm not an original person. Let's see what you've got. Orlo inspected the drink, hovered his hands over it, and wiggled his fingers. Orlo pointed to the colors of the cocktail. Abundancy is drawn to you this week. I see something about family. Oh, yeah? Blake rolled his eyes. Shh, that's everything. What do you think? How did I do? Very accurate. Spot on with your reading. Spooky, actually. Orlo looked pleased and very proud of himself. Knew it. Told you I have a talent. Mind if I try your drink? Go ahead. Orlo took a sip. Blackberry pie is tasty. Thanks. Monday came around too quickly. Blake's mood was as gray as the sky above him. There was a rumble in the distance. Thunder. Lee and Andy were talking in hushed tone. Morning. Hey. Morning, Blake. What's going on? Maybe Blake could help. Lee smiled shyly, and his eyes darted away. You can tell me if you want to. Well, I'm asking people to sign a petition to get Andy bigger living quarters. I wondered if you might want to sign the petition, and well, that's really sweet of Lee. Sure, of course I would. I'd be happy to help. Oh, that's fantastic. Thank you. I really appreciate it. We both do. I'll email over the signed petition to you. Let me know how you get on. No problem. Blake hadn't seen Hari around the office since their cinema date. Maybe she was avoiding him. How about we play Odd One Out? You're the odd one out. Oh, wow, so witty. Max rolled her eyes and their laughter echoed. Blake, wanna play? I'm good. I've got a load of work to get on with. Blake was starting to get a headache, so he decided to sit this one out. Dude, I just got notification that Killer VR has been voted out of Bly this month. How are you even surprised? They get selected to leave every time they are up for the vote. It says here there's a newbie who will be joining the show next month, and he's a Newstone local. Someone called Oz Brown? Never heard of him. Huh? Blake instantly recognized the name. Did you say Oz Brown? Yeah, just checking what's it. It says that Oz Brown, a Newston resident renowned for his imaginative and revolutionary topiary work, was sentenced with murder and public unrest for stabbing his wife to death and causing a disturbance by shouting at school kids while mutilating his face. Blake didn't know what to think. The man had looked so happy, living a perfect life in the pictures he'd seen on Imagination. The room went quiet. Phew, wow, that's dark. Not gonna lie, that is very Vin. No, Orlo, we talked about this. Anyway, I wonder what the damage is to his face. I guess we'll find out when we watch it. But if it's bad, I give him no more than 3 rounds before he's voted the cut. Blake didn't waste his life watching The Bly, a popular e-screen reality show set on Broad Lane Island, the place where the worst criminals were imprisoned. Each month, one inmate would be voted out by the public and set free. Usually Kill VR, and another was voted the cut, meaning they were never seen again. Blake knocked on Jonathan's door. Come in! Blake, welcome! Is Jonathan around today? He's away in a meeting this morning. Is there anything I can help you with? Oh, no, it's okay. Do you have a few minutes to spare right now by any chance? I was wondering if we might have our little catch-up. Sure, why not? Brilliant. How are you finding it here so far? I guess the way he's been talking to Orlo, he really likes it. I really like my job. I get on well with my colleagues. I feel secure here. Great. That's what we like to hear. Where do you see yourself in 5 years' time? I have no idea, honestly. I know what you mean. So many choices, so many paths. Sometimes even when we have a plan, you look back 5 years later and wonder, how on earth did I get here? That's not to say it's not a good idea to have a plan, though. What would you say is your greatest weakness? I guess I would say that's attention. Max and Orlo are so disruptive. They do seem like an excitable pair. A bit of downtime now and then to socialize with your colleagues at work is fine too. It builds your working relationships. It seemed that Rye had run out of questions. She became distracted by the trickles of rain that were connecting and winding down the window. She looked comforted by the warm coffee mug cupped between her hands, with the SHIELD agent logo on it. I swear it rains so much in this part of Newstone. If the city had its own personality, I wouldn't know if Central Newstone was trying to wash away its sadness or wallow in it. Maybe eventually it'll drown in despair. Probably. Hey, I enjoyed our drinks yesterday. Orlo was alone for once. He smiled, but it wasn't his normal happy smile. It looked like something was bothering him. Me too. How's it going? Okay, I guess. You seem quiet. Something's bothering you. Do you want to talk? It's just between you and me. Max watches The Bly because she's in love with Kill VR. The only reason I watch the show with her is because my dad is in Bly. I get to visit once every 6 months. Apart from that, the only way to get to see him is by watching the show. Every few months, Kill VR goes back in Bly for killing someone and gets voted out again. My dad is a good man. He tried to protect someone a long time ago and things went wrong. I don't know if he'll ever get voted out. I just hope he never gets the cut. Oh man, I'm sorry. I had no idea. No, well, not even Max knows about it, so don't mention it to anyone. I won't. I can see why it would bother you. I hope he gets voted out soon. Thanks. That's interesting. Okay. Exhausted by a day full of complex queries and an enormous effort to finish up his latest project, Blake was finally ready to leave. He'd seen the cleaners come and go in the time that he was there, but others had stayed late too. They enjoyed the odd evenings of camaraderie, working late together. The atmosphere felt more relaxed, and they usually ordered in food. Not to mention, they got the time back. Long day, Andy chirped in his sincere tone as he saw Blake in the foyer. It was almost 7, and Blake usually left around 6. Don't I know it? Ah, the clock strikes 7, time for me to pack up. Andy gave his signature crinkle-nosed smile. He closed down his systems at the front desk and turned around, disappearing into the room behind the counter. Blake could just about see flecks of rain outside in the darkness. Oh, hi, Moxie. A strange whirring noise came from above, unlike any rain he had heard before. The sky produced a dull, metallic darkness overhead. At the front of the building, Blake could make out something on the ground, a few feet ahead. The rain started to bawl, restricting his vision. Now getting closer, he realized it was an unconscious worker, their identity unclear in the rainy darkness. Hey, are you okay? Blake shouted, but there was no response, no movement. As he got closer, the annoying noise grew louder. It was coming from above. When Blake looked up, he couldn't make it out at first. That was until 7 blinding red lights beamed down on him. He immediately backed away and raised his arm to shield his eyes as he attempted to assess the situation. Bullets and rain came flooding down around him. What the heck? He patted down his chest to be sure they hadn't hit him. No, the bullets had hit the person on the ground. If they hadn't been dead already, it was certain they'd given up the ghost now. Oh, shit! Instinct punched through his limbs, forcing him to catapult towards the office, and a patter of bullets followed him. Blake soon took refuge under the first ledge he found, protruding from the building's structure, and not one moment too soon. How many other victims were there? Fuck! Before he could react, the spotlight was on him. He'd miscalculated the safe zone. He wasn't taking any chances. Blake sprinted and slipped back inside the building, then ducked out of sight and stayed clear of the windows. What the hell is going on? This game is so weird sometimes, but I like it. I enjoy this. This is nice. He had to warn the others. There was no time to wake up Andy. First priority, Jonathan. Jonathan's office was separate from the main floor, which meant that Blake hadn't seen whether or not Jonathan had stayed late. He made his way to Jonathan's office door and opened it. Blake caught his breath as he saw Jonathan. Jonathan, you're okay. There's been an armed drone attack outside the building. Drone attack? How many? Jonathan peered over the window. I don't know. I saw one and it shot at me, but there could be more. There's an employee outside dead. I didn't get to see who they were. What? This is terrible. We need to warn the others immediately. Of course. Jonathan got up from his seat. A red light shone into the room, and a drone appeared on the other side of the glass. What the shit? This game! Quick, move! Blake couldn't help but imagine the next moment as an action film. Everything felt like it was in slow motion. He ran in and grabbed Jonathan just as the drone broke through the glass. The window shattered and bullets scattered around. As they ran out, smashing and buzzing invaded the room behind them. The drone hurtled into the wall with a loud crash, and the doors closed behind them as they stood in the hallway. Jonathan put his hand to his chest in shock. They both panted, whilst taking a moment to process what had just happened. My gosh! What was that noise? Is everyone okay? Everyone stay here. Blinds down. The blinds in the office started to automatically close. Lee, can you stream Hive News on your computer for us? Sure. Don't put it on too loud. It's just so it's audible. Armed drone attacking Newstone. Armed drones currently attacking civilians in the Newstone area. Please remain inside. One witness reported that they could hear what sounded like an army of toy helicopters in the sky. They saw red lights in the sky and bullets raining down on pedestrians on the opposite side of the road before running to safety. Those living in the central Newstone area are strongly advised to stay indoors and away from windows until further notice. An armed response team has been dispatched and are clearing the area. It is estimated that there are a total of 5 rogue drones circulating the city, one of which has now been disarmed. The weapons attached to the drones are said to be similar to that of an AK-47. I don't want to be living in a world where armed drones attacking the citizens is a thing. That's terrifying. Please stay inside until further notice. A close-up shot of a bullet-riddled heap of metal was shown, which must have been the disarmed drone. Jonathan let out a worried but surprised gasp as he recognized it instantly. Good grief, how could this have happened? ICC drone units deployed? No one has clearance to dispatch and test them. We must stop this. You can use my computer to access the control panel. Jonathan started to access the master admin controls without a thank you. It was understandable that pleasantries were not a priority here. The screen changed and showed a red loading box, then lagged and froze. Lee, I might need your assistance here. I've never seen something like this before. It looks like the ICC computers have been infected with some sort of Trojan. The computer screen changed, deploying additional drones, updating location for attack. What does that mean? Lee's voice cracked and shook with anxiety as he spoke. Damn, the phone network's blocked. Jonathan ran over to the security console on the wall and tapped in the emergency code. Nothing happened. The security system's been compromised too. We're gonna have to leave the building. No, it's too dangerous. I can't let any of you endanger yourselves. I know I told him I wouldn't say it, but it might save our lives, so I'm gonna tell him about the network. We might be able to access the admin controls through Lee's network in Andy's room. Panic spread across Lee's face. Good idea. I've completely forgotten about that. That could work. Wait, what? You knew? Of course, you didn't think you could set up a network in here without it notifying the system, did you? I thought it was hidden well enough. Lee, go to locker CQRT for me and type in the code 505. Fetch me the gun for a minute. Gun? It's there in case of extreme emergencies, and I'd say this is one of those times. A few moments later, Lee came back carefully holding the gun and handed it over to Blake, who was the person nearest to him. Here, you take it. I don't want to take the gun. I don't want it. I don't want it. I don't know if I'm a good shot. Or lower max are probably better at targeting with all that FPS game they have. Nuh-uh, I don't want that responsibility. Me neither. You'll do fine with it, Blake. You got this. Oh my god, they're gonna make me take the gun. Let's not waste any more time. Lee, do what you need to, and we'll keep a lookout for drones. Andy, what are you doing out of your station? Good, Ing. Mr. O, morning. Is he okay? Morning. Morning. Warning. It became immediately apparent that something was wrong with Andy. Andy grabbed Max, took out a gun, and held it to her head. Wait, what are you doing? Security threat. What the frick? I don't want to just shoot him. I'm gonna distract him. Andy, remember me? Blake, we're friends. Lee rushed into the reception room. Morning, B. Threat detected. Good morning, Andy. Wait. Morning, Andy. Can you check something for me? Andy looked confused. Check? I've lost my phone. Can you check your lost and found for me? What have you lost? You? Andy suddenly shut down. Lee appeared. It worked? Orlo ran over and caught Max, helping her to sit down. You're okay. Max was in shock, but unharmed. All of the drones were halted through the admin console. Shortly after, police units and news reporters showed up in the droves. ICC was closed until further notice whilst an investigation took place, and extra security measures were implemented. Days after the incident, Max decided it was time for a new start and moved away to another city, promising to keep in touch with everyone through technology. This is intense. Blake, what are you doing? Huh? Blake opened his eyes and felt the cold air rush against his face. There was a tug on his arm. Jonathan pulled him away from the ledge. It felt real. This isn't a dream? What are you doing up here? I must have sleepwalked. You sent me a text saying to meet you here urgently, so I came to talk to you. No, I didn't. Blake, since the investigation after the drone attack, the investigators whittled it down to someone from ICC, someone who has access to my home system. They said the system was first assessed in the middle of the night, a couple of days before the attack, the same night you stayed over. I never hurt someone, let alone murder someone. I wouldn't, no, couldn't do those things. The owl, the HG devices, kidnapping, killing an innocent man? I couldn't suspect you solely based on the investigators' findings, but then today I saw something I wish I could unsee and unknow. I received this video. Jonathan took out his phone and pressed play. The video was sent to me through the For Reals app, so I know it hasn't been edited and it can't be manipulated. It was the video of Trout with Sam Stevens. I've seen this before at Trout's. He showed me what he'd done. The video continued playing as the camera panned around to a hooded figure. It's still going? I haven't seen this part before. Blake watched in disbelief. The figure removed their hood, and the face stared back at him. I see. What? What is this? It can't be real. It looked like him, but it wasn't him. There was so much hate and evil in those eyes. Hi, Blake. I guess you're wondering what the fuck is going on. Let me explain. Those days that just melded into one, the moments you can't seem to remember, the items you misplaced, the conversations that you've forgotten. That's me. That's when I had my time, my fun. Whilst you slept, I woke up. I am a part of you. Oof. Yeah. This doesn't make any sense. At first, I couldn't believe my eyes. That isn't my son. That isn't Blake. I'm no hacking genius. You said it yourself. Whoever it was, they managed to get into the networking using your computers. I have no idea how to do that. I considered this too, but I also know that you observed me checking my jot pad for the password to unlock my computers before. Writing things down is my weakness, so if by any chance you had looked at my jot pad, you would have seen access or had access to the information. You have it all wrong. Blake looked at the for reals footage again. Look, his eyes, they're redder than mine. That could be down to any number of factors, such as wearing contacts, a change in emotion, or even the lighting. So you don't believe me? It's not that, but we have to look at the facts objectively. Wait, there's a message here with the video. I never noticed this before. It says, from Cable. An anagram for Blake. Who the fuck is Cable? It's an anagram of your name. See? I'm a smart cookie. I'd remember if it was me. Jonathan's look was full of hurt and sadness as he realized something. Now I understand why the poem, The Owl and the Wood Mouse, was sent to you and what he meant by it. He wasn't sending you a love story. He was telling you that predator and prey live together as one. That he lives inside of you. You were young. Your memory problems, the weird sleeping patterns, the bruises. He trailed off. He couldn't utter the end of his sentence. It was all inside of you. Ooh. I'm struggling because, like, cool for a story, right? Cool for a story, cool twist for a story. But, like, in the beginning, it talks about a mental health issues being covered in it, and this is, inaccurate. Blake? That headache. Those are my options. Kill Jonathan and fight it. Jesus fuck. He lives inside of me. Let go. No. Blake, your eyes. He's trying to take over. Stay with me. I must fight this. Think good thoughts. Think good thoughts. Oh, sure. That's how we do it. We just think of good thoughts. That's how we stop. That's how we stop an altar from coming out, right? We'll find a way to stop him together. We'll fix this. If it's me causing all this destruction, I have to stop him. And we will, son. No. Whilst he's alive, I'm endangering others. We'll run some tests and find a way to suppress him. And what if he is me? He's not. You didn't know he existed for decades. There must be a reason he's here now, and we'll solve this mystery. It's too dangerous for you. I have to go away. Jonathan touched Blake's arm. We have to try. A sharp pain bolted through Blake's skull. Cable grabbed Jonathan and pushed him. Jonathan's eyes widened as he stumbled back, losing his balance on the ledge. Blake came to and quickly grabbed Jonathan, pulling him back to safety just in time. I don't know how long I can hold him off. You have to leave. It's too dangerous for me to be around you. You need help. I know that. But it has to be away from here, away from you. I can't lose you. We'll find a way. No, you have to get away from me, don't you get it? I'm trying to stop him from getting through. He wants to kill you. I can't let that happen, so this means you have to leave me. If we run some tests, leave me alone. And without another word, a sullen and defeated Jonathan gave Blake a nod, turned and walked away. The sky was a vivid mix of mauve and magenta as the sun was setting, then gradually fading into a teal gray. Neon blues and purples caught the attention of the eye. They originated from glaring city signs that reflected off the damp, black streets. Blake looked down and saw the vast nothingness between the ledge he was on and the city street below. From Cable. This email is to confirm that your For Reals video titled Kill VR Come and Get Me has been uploaded to the public channel. Thank you for using for reals. Neat. Neat. Well. 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 I don't know what to think about this. I have thoughts. Thank you, Rupert. That was so helpful. I have no idea what's setting him off so bad today, but ooh, okay. Well, yeah. I will say, overall, like, the writing of this visual novel is probably some of the best writing that I've seen in a visual novel that I've personally played. The story was compelling. Some of the fun ways of like interacting with the game, like making your drink and things like that, were kind of cool. Yeah, I felt drawn in, but oof, big oof at the end there, man. Big oof. Well, my friends, that was the end of Blake the Visual Novel. If you guys want to see or hear more discussion about this with my little cohorts from the Indie Backlog Club, Indie Hive, and Red Pandamon, stay tuned to our other YouTube channel for the Indie Backlog Club, where we are going to be having a discussion about Blake in an upcoming podcast. So, that being said, my friends, thank you so much for joining me. I'm gonna go decompress. Maybe take a walk. Maybe, have a minute. But, interesting story. Interesting visual novel for sure. Thank you for joining me, you guys. I will be back streaming live on Monday over on Twitch, so be sure to check the description in the comments below to get all the socials and all that fun stuff. Be sure to like, follow, subscribe, ring the bell, all those fun, fancy interweb social things. And yeah, thanks. Have a great rest of your weekend.